To get to the UGG interview guides, click the UGG interview guides button inside of the UGG section. The UGG interview guide helps make sure that you ask the right questions during customer discovery interviews. To learn more about the importance of UGG interview guides, please refer to the UGG section of the Unbiased methodology. Similar to UGG journeys, this section will auto-populate based on the personas you've created and the UGG journeys you gave them in the previous step. If you haven't created an UGG journey for your personas, please go back to the UGG journey section and do so. To begin creating an interview guide, click a persona to the left and then click the pencil icon that appears in the top right corner. The prompts inside of this pop-up will guide you through the creation of the interview guide. Read the instructions and fill in the sections accordingly. Some of these may seem repetitive, but we ask that you write these questions in your own words to make the interviews more personal. For our Uber example, we may begin the interview with a statement similar to the following. Hello, I'm hoping to learn more about what people experience when using taxi services during business trips. Furthermore, we're going to want to ask our interviewee to explain the last time they went through that process. So we'll add a question similar to, could you walk me through the process you went through last time you had to order a taxi for a business purpose? The interview guide subsection will guide you through creating questions about specific steps in the UGG journey, specifically the steps that have UGGs tied to them. For example, let's write some questions related to the UGG of having to wait outside. First, we test whether or not it's even an UGG with a question like, is it ever frustrating or inconvenient for you to wait outside for your taxi? Secondly, we test why it's an UGG with a question similar to, what makes this frustrating or inconvenient for you? Finally, we test how intense the issue is for them with a question like, how intense is your frustration with having to do this? We'll repeat this process for every suspected UGG in this persona's UGG journey. For the sake of time, however, we're going to skip straight to the concluding questions now. We're going to want to ask some other questions that give us a little bit more insight about the user's journey. We want to ask them how often they go through this. We're also going to want to ask what their biggest UGG is. We're also going to want to ask a question that tests their willingness to pay. Furthermore, we're going to want to ask whether there was something that they felt that we had missed. And then we're going to want to ask whether or not they know anybody that they think would be helpful for us to speak to. Finally, we're going to ask them if they'd like to set up a time to speak again once we're a little bit further along in development for this idea. The purpose of doing so is to begin setting up what we'll call an aha interview, but that'll be something we'll speak about in later videos. Once you have filled out your UGG interview guide, go ahead and click Done to save your changes. If you'd like to go back and edit your interview guide, you can always click the persona and hit the pencil icon to make more changes. Once you're done in this subsection, click the UGGs button in the bottom menu to return to the UGGs step.